Don't do me that. I'm just telling him go with his move. I'm trusting him.
Thank you. I have a retirement fund and I want to not play safe with it. Yes, because one of them sat for 15 years with a company and gained nothing. So I'm pulling the last retirement fund from one of the company I work. It's probably worth like 80,000. So what would be the best company to put it in? I want to be risky.
First of all, I don't want you to, don't be saying how much money you got. You in Atlanta. Make sure we block her face out on the thing. All right, oh, that was good. Retirement, we want to be a little risky, so I will say we're going to be a little risky. Risky plus future. So if I wanted to say I wanted to be a little risky, but I still wanted to get a good return on it, I would say, all right, first of all, I ain't doing this because people gonna hold me accountable. It ain't my money. Retirement, but I like what you said. Though first you said trap. Like I want to be a little risky. I want to take a little risk, but also it's my retirement. So I want you to understand something. I want you to take calculated risk because you work hard for that money. Even though the people give you a return on the money like you wanted to, I don't want you to be risky where you feel like I'm gonna blow it, or just because you don't feel like you gotta take high risk to get a good return. Right. So what I'll do is I'll take the 80, I'll split it. I'll take the 80 and split it. I'll find not necessarily a specific stock, but I'll find a large cap growth stock. So I'm talking about I will go somewhere like Tesla because I will go Tesla, I will go Nvidia, I will go Eli Lilly, somewhere like that, because the reason why I would go Eli Lilly somewhere like that is because they have so many drugs in the pipeline where once those drugs hit and they have a good track record of taking drugs from phase 2 to phase 3, which means they have a good track record of putting good dope on the market. Don't take that the wrong way.
We tried it.
You feel me? They have a good track record of doing that. Tesla and Nvidia, because they're the type of stocks when they fall, but when they run, they run. It's the type of stocks that when they fall, they'll give you 10, 15, 20%, but then they'll run for 3 weeks in a row. Another one that I like is a company that I've been on real heavy, CELH, great company. But also I want you to go through this. I want you to look at this medical device ETF. It's called IH5. I want you to go in there and I want you to look up those companies in there. Those are great medical device companies. The reason why I love that's how I got on a couple of medical device companies, because you'll find some boring businesses, but you'll find some businesses that have great returns. You'll find businesses that's in that industry where when the customers of that industry are customers who will always need those supplies. Right? The reason why I love Eli Lilly is because once a person gets on insulin, they need insulin for the rest of their life. Now you can judge me all you want, but I understand people in America don't like to take care of their health. And I'm not being opportunistic, but I'm in the game of returns. If you ain't gonna take care of your health, I'm gonna go with the company that's gonna live and keep you alive. So I would look, and not so much as an individual company, I would look in industries that have high supply, demand, and also great returns, which is information technology, which is artificial intelligence, which is med tech. So med tech is medical technology. That makes sense? I just smoked that. Let's go with
We got one more.
All right.
DJ, get that on that
Give me
side.
2 more. Yeah.
It's good, sir.
What's good, family?
Cool. What mental hurdles are you still overcoming, if any, in the market, and those hurdles reflecting in your daily life?
Say it again, King.
What mental hurdles are you still overcoming, if any, in the market?
Mental hurdles.
Yes, sir. Okay. And are those hurdles reflected in your daily life as well? Like, you know, the market, the better you get with, the more you see it reflected in your daily life.
All right, so first, what mental hurdles, slow it down for me a little bit.
What mental hurdles are you still overcoming?
Stop right there. Stop right there. What mental hurdles am I still overcoming? All right.
Yes, sir. In the market, if any.
What's the last part?
In the market.
Okay, so what mental hurdles am I still overcoming in the market?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a good question. I think at this point now, what happens is because I'm in the scale part of my investment career. So now the goal for me is to take the information that I see and make bigger plays. So I started now, I'm now taking better risk in the small cap space. So the risk for me is I'm still totally understanding. I know that the movement is there, and I know that small caps outperform large caps when the market is running. So the mental hurdle for me is still understanding what's the differentiator in why the small cap move specifically more than a large cap, right? And that's a hurdle in itself because I don't like to too much invest what I don't understand. I understand it, but there's still some nuances that I need to be in. And what happens is now that I make small caps 5% of my portfolio, I want to get it up to 20% because of the return. So I need to understand the more, and that's a mental thing for me. The next thing is, as you take on more leverage, so as I go from going to 40 contracts to 80 contracts, the only thing that has to change, the data and the information and the process is still the same. The thing that has to change now is my emotional and mental capacity to pull the trigger. Because now I'm not leveraging 100,000, I may be leveraging 250,000. And as much as I tell y'all it's a mental thing, it is, because now this is now more money than I've ever put in one play, not from a buy and hold perspective, but from a option perspective, and that's all emotional and mental. So my biggest play just now was 40 shares, 40 options contract. The information was there, but I had to make sure, like, I didn't second guess myself, but I made sure, like, yo, this it. You know what I'm saying? And scalability is not about information, it's mental and emotional. So it's making sure, watch this, my mental and emotional state is matching the data so that I can pull the trigger. Does that make sense? Come on, man, God. Let's go home, Jose. I like that balance too. How y'all feel? Good. Let's go with it.
Hey, Track. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, brother.
All right. I want to dive into the trapper methodology a little bit.
Ooh.
What's your framework around taking profit and allocating it either into a position where you want to get your cost basis down, or getting into a position because there's an opportunity to buy? If you had let's say you had 100% profit and you had $1,000 and your cost basis was low on Apple, but Microsoft was on a discount, how would you take that $5,000 and reinvest in both Apple and Microsoft, or would you invest in one or the other? What's your framework around that?
Good, I like it. That's a great question. So what's basically you asking me, how do I take profit to either enter a new position or lower my cost basis, right or wrong? Am I right? Good, that's a great question. Jose, these are good questions, man. All right, so my framework behind that, and I can tell you to rock with me because we talk about frameworks, that's my thing. So my framework around that is simple. I always know I say sell the eggs, not the goose, right? So the framework for me is, it's not so much as a dollar amount, what is the percentage that I want that company to make up of the portfolio? Does that make sense? Like, move away from how much money and gravitate to what's the percent. Because the bigger the percent is, the more it moves the needle in your account. And you can do that by just going to whatever platform you're using, and it'll show you asset allocation. So one of the things I always ask myself is, how much of this do I want to own from a percentage basis? Because the bigger the percentage, the more it's going to dictate my return. Does that make sense? So I'm moving there first. The next thing is, when I'm taking a profit, I never take profit to sit in my account. If it's a buy and hold, I'm taking the profit to move into a position. So I'm never going, it depends on where the next opportunity is and where it's at on my list of likability. Meaning, let's say I had a portfolio as Apple is my #1 stock, and let's say Amazon is the #2. Let's see, Malibu Boats is #3. Let's see, Chipotle is #4. So my goal then would say, if I'm gonna take profit from Apple, where are the 2, 3, 4, and 5 at from a perspective of discount? So if Amazon is on a discount and Chipotle is on a discount and Amazon is my bigger position, I'm gonna go to my bigger position because it's my second biggest position for a reason. Does that make sense? So I'm not gonna go from my second position to my 5th position if the second position has the better opportunity. Am I making sense? So it's based on not dollar amount, but percentage-wise that it makes up of my portfolio, because that's going to drive my second position, going to drive my portfolio more than my 5th position. It's my 5th position for a reason. You feel me? The person coming off the bench is coming off the bench for a reason. It's because I feel like the 5 players that's in front of him or her are better, but it's not saying that the 6th position isn't good, but these other 5 positions are better. So I want to feed them before I feed him. God. That makes sense? Yeah. All right, man, let's go, man. Let's go. What we at now? All right, so let's go to this ball track right quick. Y'all know I like to talk about this. I found a good one right here. A lot of people sent it to me, but it was already on my list. Let's go to it. So it said, F the jewelry, I'd rather buy land and invest successfully. I got all type of stocks and bonds. I forgot how to say this name. Kendi Wiley on my wall, and I'm gonna pass it to my son. So Savage said this, and the reason why this was dope for me was because I realized that financial literacy is becoming a huge part of the culture. And because it's becoming a huge part of the culture, for me, once we start learning how to play the money game, we start realizing that jewelry is not as valuable as we think it is. Even if you buy diamonds, once you walk out the store, you can't sell the diamonds back to the diamond seller for the same price. So for me, when you say I'd rather buy land and invest successfully, I got all type of stocks and bonds. So land, stocks, bonds. Kendi Wiley is an artist that makes realistic art. So even those things are worth more than the jewelry. I'm gonna wear this Apple Watch a lot of the time. Don't get me wrong, I do own a Rolex. But I bought it for $70,000, it's now worth $84,000. But I wear this Apple Watch more than anything because it does the same thing. And I'm gonna be real with us. Most of us don't even look at our watch for the time. I got the Rolex and it still tell the wrong time. If you ask me what time it is, I'm gonna pick the phone up. People like, Shaq, you got a Rolex on, man. Get out of my business. And it's real, I just don't know. I ain't trusting it. You gotta catch me on the 2 times of the day that it might be right. You feel me? But this is more important to me because I take more pride in wearing this because I own over 600 shares of it. I take more pride in wearing this because I own over 600 shares of it. You feel me? I take pride in wearing it. Which is why I'm gonna always get on an Android B-book. But I take pride in wearing it. I take pride in wearing, like I got these Christian Dior's on, but I own LVMH. I own 600 shares of it. LVMUY. I take pride in wearing and consuming the stuff that I own a lot of because I don't feel like a consumer. I feel like an owner. It's the same reason why Warren Buffett at every meeting, what he got in front of him? Coca-Cola.